Good morning. Welcome to Cooking with Bobby Joe. I'm switching things up a little this week. Today I'm going to have a cooking video, and Wednesday I will share a bird video. My birthday is tomorrow, and I wanted to get this Valentine birthday treat video out before the big day. Being born on Valentine's Day, people have always given me hearts full of chocolates and other sugar-filled treats for my birthday. When you're young, you don't really think about what all that sugar and junk is doing to your body. When you get older, it starts to catch up with you. I guess it's a lesson in you reap what you sow. Tomorrow, if the Lord is willing, I will be blessed with 48 years on this earth. I sometimes feel like I've been through more trials in my 48 years than most people go through in 90 years. Some I brought on myself by making the wrong choices, others were out of my control. I don't call them trials like most people do. I call them faith-building exercises, and God has kept me on a regular exercise plan. I think He wants to keep me on the up and up, and I'm actually okay with that. The more I go through, the closer I get to Him, and the more content I learn to be in every situation. So back to the sugar and junk food. I can no longer have it, so I am going to make my own sugar-free birthday treat this year. I'm on week 3 of my sugar-free low-carb diet, and I'm down 9 pounds, so I'm not going to cheat just because it's my birthday. With all the different types of sugar substitutes these days, it's becoming easier to make great-tasting desserts that are diabetic-friendly. My mom gave me this cookbook, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm a big comfort food person, and there are some amazing recipes in here, and I can't wait to try them. Today we're going to do these. These are cannoli mini cheese balls. Another thing I like about this cookbook is it shows the nutritional information for the recipes. I'm counting the carbs, so 7 grams per serving, or 4 net carbs when you subtract the fiber. So here are the ingredients you will need. This recipe is divided into 3 parts, so I will go over the ingredients for each part as I do it. For the cannoli balls, you will need cinnamon, mascarpone cheese, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, ricotta cheese, and Swerve confectioners sweetener. You will need a mixer for this step. You can use 8 ounces of cream cheese instead of the mascarpone if you want. Mascarpone is used in a lot of Italian desserts, so I decided to give it a try. The back of the container says it has 0 carbs. So I add that in, and then I add in a half a cup of ricotta cheese. And I made a cheesecake one time with ricotta cheese, and it was so good. Next, add a half a cup of Swerve and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And mix it all together until it's smooth. Now, this recipe says use your hands to make 8 2-inch balls. Maybe if I use cream cheese, it wouldn't be as soft, and I could do that, but there is no way I can use my hands to make these. This is super soft. I'm going to use my 2-inch cookie dough scoop, and I'm just going to scoop it on parchment paper. And I don't think this dish will be big enough, but I had to use something smaller so it would fit in my fridge. My fridge doesn't have a lot of room right now since I just picked up a grocery order. Okay, this will work. I'm going to cover and I'm going to place it in the fridge for 30 minutes. If they aren't firm after 30 minutes, I will put them in the freezer and see if that helps. Next, I need to make the chocolate chunks. Melt 2 sticks of unsalted butter, and 2 sticks equals 1 cup. You're going to need a blender for this step. You also need 1 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. It has 3 carbs, and I love the special dark cocoa. Next step, you want to pour the melted butter into the blender. Add in 1 cup of cocoa powder. Here comes the chocolate dust. I can't think of any better dust to have in my house than chocolate dust. Then you add 3/4 a cup of Swerve, 1/4 a teaspoon of fine sea salt, 1 teaspoon of almond extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Well, I don't have quite a teaspoon of vanilla here. I need to add vanilla extract to the shopping list. I need to start making my own vanilla extract actually. Now blend it all together until it's smooth. You want to taste it and adjust the sweetness to your liking. Just remember it will have additional sweetness with the chocolate drizzle and also with the cannoli balls. They're sweet too. I'm going to spread this out over parchment paper and place it in the freezer. Then I'll break it apart and cut it into small chunks, but this is very thick. Let me spread it all out. Okay, I think that looks good enough. Now it goes in the freezer for about 10 minutes. I checked my cannoli balls and they still aren't firm, so I stuck them in the freezer too. So while all of that is in the freezer, I'm going to do the final part, the chocolate drizzle. It calls for 1 ounce of unsweetened chocolate finely chopped, and 2 squares of this equals 1 ounce. So I'm just going to chop it the best I can. Next, in a double boiler, pour 1/4 cup of heavy cream, the chopped chocolate, and you can do this in the microwave too. I don't own a microwave, so I'm not going to tell you how to do that. I've seen people do it on cooking videos though. If you've never used a double boiler before, it's really simple. It's just a pot within a pot. You don't actually have if you don't have a double boiler, you can use a bigger pot, put a smaller pot inside of it. The bottom pot has water, and you just turn it on low and the water heats, and when the water heats, it melts the chocolate, and this keeps the chocolate from burning. My double boiler is very old. I believe it belonged to my husband's grandmother. Okay, next add 2 tablespoons of Swerve, mix it all together and wait for it to heat up, and it takes a few minutes, probably about 10-15 minutes on low. Just check on it every now and then and give it a good stir. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to turn off the heat and I'm going to add in the vanilla beans. The recipe calls for seeds scraped from 1 vanilla bean. I'm out of vanilla beans and the price is crazy for those right now. I have vanilla bean paste I'm using, and I'm going to use 1 tablespoon because that equals 1 vanilla bean. And just stir that in. And if you don't have a vanilla bean paste, you can also use vanilla extract. It says if you don't have that, use 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, next it says to place it in the fridge for a few minutes to thicken. It says 8 minutes, but I'll check it at 5 minutes because I don't want it to get too thick. You want it to be able to drizzle. Okay, here's my chocolate out of the freezer, and this is darker than it looks in the cookbook because I've used dark cocoa powder. I'm just going to break it apart like I do chocolate bark when I make it, and that's basically what this is. It's a sugar-free chocolate bark. I really don't think we're going to need this much chocolate. I will start out with this much and we'll see if we need more. Alright, so my cannoli balls are still soft after being in the freezer, but they are a lot firmer than they were. But it probably helped if I would have put this chocolate in a Ziploc bag and used a rolling pin to crush it a little. But I'm going to go with the bigger chocolate chunks. All right, I didn't have enough chocolate, so I'm going to cut up a little bit more. Okay, this is what they look like so far. I got the chocolate drizzle out of the fridge and it was thickened up in about 5 minutes. Hopefully it's not thickened up too much, and hopefully it'll drizzle, because if not, I'm going to have to put it back on the double boiler for a few minutes. Okay, it looks like this will work. It is a little thick, but that's okay. And there you have it. Okay, this drizzle tastes amazing, y'all. I got a little bit on my finger, and man, it's good. My GoPro battery's about to go dead, so let me finish this up with my phone. Alright, got my phone now. I think my phone takes better close-up video than my GoPro. Doesn't those look good? Oh my goodness, I hope they taste as good as they look. All right, let's see what Steve thinks. All right, this is my birthday treat. It's keto, sugar-free. I'm going to try one in a minute. I had them in the freezer so they'd harden up a little, and I think I left them in too long, so we'll see how it is frozen.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Is it soft inside?
It's got a real good flavor to it. The texture is like a kind of a solid powder, so it's probably good you froze it.
Well, it's not. It's supposed to be more creamy because...
Or maybe it's frozen past the point of creaminess. But it's got a real good... It's like it dissolves in your mouth, but it's got a real good flavor to it. I like the flavor.
Does it taste like a cannoli?
I'm not real sure what a cannoli is.
We got them at what was that? The diner. What's it called?
Portobello's. Isn't that
Oh yeah, we got them there too. But we got them over there at the... What's the diner called over there off the Lee Highway? And they have one downtown.
Oh, City Cafe.
Yeah, we got them there before too.
Oh. Yeah, this is good. I like it. So you're calling it a cannoli?
I'm calling it what the book called it. It was called a cannoli, a keto cannoli cheese ball, I think. I'll have to look. Let me see the inside of it when it's frozen. Is it kind of like an ice cream treat when it's frozen?
Kind of, but it doesn't have a shell outside of it. So.
Well, I froze it. I was going to stick it in there long enough just to firm up a little because they were really soft.
So the chocolate, it's got a really good chocolate cocoa flavor to it. And it's got enough sweetness so it's not bitter. But it's got the creamy flavor. And a little bit of the texture is kind of how it dissolves. But it's kind of hard to describe, but it's really good.
Well, it's not supposed to be frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it would be different if it wasn't frozen. I don't know if it'd be better or worse. But I think frozen works because it might not hold its shape if it wasn't frozen.
That's
you know
the reason
I mean?
I stuck it in the freezer. Is because after I drizzled that chocolate over it, it was really...
If you drizzled more of the milk chocolate with the dark chocolate shards or whatever you want to call them, that might give it more of a body so it wouldn't fall apart if the milk chocolate was solid. But this is really good. I like this. I've been wanting something sweet.
Well, thank you. You haven't told me if it gets any of the...
2 thumbs up. Drool worthy. See that? Drool.
All right. Thank you for your review. Okay, after tasting it myself, I like it frozen. It's sort of like an ice cream treat. If I made these again, I would probably use my 1-inch cookie dough scoop instead of the 2-inch. I think it would be better if it was a little smaller. I would also crush up the chocolate chunks a little more and coat the outside better with those. I think I would go with cream cheese too because I think it would make it a little more firm. Although if you want them frozen, this works great this way and it tastes great. So you store these in an airtight container for up to 4 days. I put mine in the freezer, but I have 2 stored in the fridge because later today we're going to try them unfrozen to see what they taste like. We may do a quick live video, maybe like a taste testing, just to try them out, just to see what they're like unfrozen. We shall see. Well, I love them. I love them frozen, so I'm sure I'm going to love them unfrozen too. Anyway, you can't tell sugar substitutes are used in this. It's a great birthday treat. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more do-it-yourself projects, bird videos, gardening, and drool-worthy human and doggy treats. Y'all have a very blessed day and a happy Valentine's Day tomorrow.